Let's look at how to create a switch by the use of data validation. There are various ways of creating switches in modeling. Remember, this is financial modeling. It's not just any data analytics, but financial modeling. So you need to be able to create the switch and also apply the switch. And there are different types of switches. We can use the data validation, the combo box, the checkbox, the list box, the option button to create switches. But this tutorial is on how to create a switch by the use of data validation. Now, data validation can be found in the data of the menu bar. So you click on data, then to your right center, there is data validation icon. You click on it, but then you click on data validation, then any value, you change the any value to list, all right? Then the source will show. So this source, you can type the scenarios or you can type the options in it. In this case, we are looking at upside case, base case, and downside case. So you can type directly upside case, comma, base case, comma, downside case. Then you press OK. If you press OK, a switch will be created where the cursor is. So where the cursor is, the switch will be created there. So sometimes, in order not to struggle to find where the switch is, you can create a border, okay, in a particular cell. All right, you can even shade it before you create a switch. So I put a cursor on it. Then I go to data. I go to data validation. You change any value to list. Then in the source, you either select or you type the scenarios in it directly. So in this case, I'm selecting the scenarios and I press enter. A switch has been activated in this particular cell, cell G17, where the cursor was at the time of creating the switch. So this is the data validation, very simple, and it's used by modelers all over the world. Now, creating the switch is not enough. You should be able to use the switch to link your model to the output sheets. So on this screen, assuming you've created a model, on a separate sheet, you have upside case, base case, and downside case in local currency, and you have upside case, base case, and downside case in foreign currencies. And this is the output sheets. Assuming you want to show the user, or you don't want the user to struggle to go through the models, all right? If you have different scenarios, then without switches, you should create 3 or more models, all right? So in this case, you would have created a separate model for upside case, created a separate model for base case, or create a separate model for the downside case. But with a switch, you'll be able to create just one model. You have the analysis in one sheet and use the switch to be able to select the expected scenario. So in this case, as you can see on the screen, if I change the switch to local currency, it changes the output to local currency. This is the output. Let me change the output to, let's say, yellow for you to see it. So if I change the switch to upside case, it changes or it selects the 125,000. Okay, but before you can do that, you need to learn how to create a switch by the use of the data validation or any of the other types of switches. Today we've looked at data validation, very simple, and I believe that you'll be able to use the data validation. To be able to use the data validation, you need any of these tools: the if function, the index match, the choose function, the VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, offsets, but all these have been created or have created videos for the if function, index, the match, the index match, the choose, the VLOOKUP, and the offset functions to be able to help you to apply to your switches in creating switches for financial modeling. Thank you very much. Watch out for the next video. That is the next type of switch. We are looking at how to use the checkbox to create a switch. Thank you.